In a dusty frontier town, Elias Kane rides in at dusk, his shadow long against the crimson sky. A former lawman, he's haunted by a past he can't escape. 10 years ago, his family was taken by outlaws led by the ruthless Caleb Varn. The memory burns like a brand. Elias clutches a locket, his wife's last gift. He's here for justice, but revenge simmers in his heart, a dangerous fire ready to consume all. The saloon doors swing open. Elias steps inside, his boots heavy on the creaking floor. Eyes turn, but he ignores them, scanning for Varn's men. At a poker table, 3 outlaws smirk, their hands near their holsters. Elias orders a whiskey, his voice low but firm. The bartender whispers a warning, Varn's gang rules this town. Elias nods, his resolve hardening. Tonight, he'll start unraveling their grip. Outside, the moon hangs low, casting eerie shadows. Elias tracks one of Varn's lieutenants, Amos, to a derelict barn. The man's drunk, careless. Elias moves like a ghost, silent and swift. A knife gleams in his hand. Amos begs, but Elias's eyes are cold. Where's Varn? He demands. Amos spills a location, a canyon hideout. Elias leaves him bound, a message sent, the hunter is closing in fast. Dawn breaks over the canyon. Elias crouches behind a boulder, watching Varn's camp. Men patrol, rifles ready. Varn's voice echoes, barking orders. Elias's grip tightens on his revolver. He remembers his daughter's laugh, now silenced forever. The pain fuels him. He slips closer, planting dynamite near their supplies. Justice demands precision, but revenge whispers for chaos. He lights the fuse. The explosion rocks the canyon, smoke billowing. Varn's men scatter, shouting. Elias picks them off, his aim deadly. Each shot is for his family, each scream a step toward closure. Varn emerges, eyes blazing with rage. Kane, he roars, recognizing the shadow from his past. Their eyes lock across the chaos. This isn't just a fight, it's a reckoning. Elias reloads, his heart a storm of grief and fury. Flashback. Elias's home burns, his wife's screams piercing the night. Varn's laugh haunts him as the flames rise. Young Sarah clings to her father, but Varn's men tear her away. Elias fights, but a blow to the head leaves him broken. He wakes to ashes, his world gone. The locket, found in the rubble, is all he has left. Back in the present, Elias vows, Varn will pay for every tear, every loss. The canyon battle rages. Elias ducks behind a wagon as bullets fly. Varn's men are trained, but Elias is relentless. He uses the terrain, slipping through shadows. A young outlaw hesitates, fear in his eyes. Elias spares him, whispering, run. Justice, not slaughter, guides him now. But Varn is different. For him, there's no mercy. Elias moves closer, the locket heavy in his pocket. Varn retreats to a cave, his men dwindling. Elias follows, his boots crunching on gravel. Inside, the air is damp, the darkness thick. Varn's voice taunts from the shadows, you think this ends with me dead? Elias doesn't answer. He lights a torch, revealing Varn, gun drawn. The men circle, 2 predators in a deadly dance. Elias's heart pounds, but his hand is steady. This is his moment. Varn lunges, firing wildly. Elias dives, rolling behind a stalagmite. Bullets ricochet, sparking in the dark. Elias returns fire, grazing Varn's arm. The outlaw curses, but his confidence wanes. Elias's voice cuts through, for my family. Varn laughs, cruel and hollow. They begged, Kane. The words ignite Elias's rage. He charges, tackling Varn. The fight becomes primal, fists and blood. Elias pins Varn, his knife at the outlaw's throat. Varn's eyes flicker with fear, then defiance. Kill me, and you're no better, he spits. Elias hesitates, the locket burning against his chest. Justice demands a trial, but revenge screams for blood. His hand trembles. Varn smirks, sensing weakness. But Elias's resolve hardens. He binds Varn's hands, choosing the harder path. The town will judge him. The townsfolk gather as Elias drags Varn into the square. Whispers ripple, fear, awe, hope. The sheriff, once Varn's puppet, steps forward, shaken. Elias hands over Varn, his eyes never leaving the outlaws. Let the law decide, he says, voice steady. The crowd murmurs approval, but Varn's glare promises retribution. Elias knows this isn't over. Revenge may sleep, but it never dies. In the jail, Varn sits chained, his smirk unbroken. Elias stands outside, wrestling with his choice. The locket feels heavier now, a reminder of what's lost. A woman approaches, Lila, a widow who lost her son to Varn's gang. Her eyes mirror Elias's pain. "You did right," she says softly. Elias nods, but doubt gnaws. Justice feels hollow when revenge still beckons, a siren's call in his soul. Night falls, and the town is restless. Elias sits by a fire, cleaning his gun. Lila brings him coffee, her presence a quiet comfort. She speaks of her son, her voice breaking. Elias listens, seeing his own grief in her words. "Justice takes time," she says. "Revenge takes your soul." Her wisdom cuts deep. Elias wonders if he can let go, if justice can heal what revenge promises to destroy. A gunshot cracks the silence. Elias bolts upright, instincts flaring. Varn's men have come, storming the jail to free their leader. The sheriff lies dead, and Varn's chains are empty. Elias curses his mercy. The town erupts in chaos as outlaws torch buildings, seeking to reclaim their power. Elias grabs his rifle, the locket swinging. Revenge surges, no longer a whisper but a roar in his veins. Elias stalks through the burning town, a shadow among flames. He spots Varn fleeing toward the hills. The chase is on. Hooves pound the earth as Elias rides, his horse snorting steam in the cold night. Varn's men try to cut him off, but Elias is a force of nature. Bullets fly, and 2 outlaws fall. Varn's silhouette grows closer. This time, there's no cage to hold him, only Elias's wrath. At a cliff's edge, Varn turns, trapped. The wind howls, carrying the scent of smoke. Elias dismounts, revolver steady. Varn's gun is empty, his bravado crumbling. "You can't bring them back," he sneers. Elias steps closer, the locket glinting in the moonlight. "This isn't about them anymore," he says. "It's about you." His finger tightens on the trigger, torn between justice and the abyss of revenge. Flashback. Elias teaches Sarah to ride, her laughter echoing. His wife watches, smiling. The memory is vivid, a knife in his heart. Varn's men shattered that world, leaving only pain. Back on the cliff, Elias's eyes burn with tears. Varn kneels, pleading now. Elias's hand shakes. The locket falls open, revealing a faded photo. He sees Sarah's face. Justice, not revenge, was her father's promise. Elias lowers his gun. Varn's relief is fleeting. Elias binds him again, tighter this time. "You'll face a jury," he growls. Varn laughs, weak but venomous. "You're weak, Cain." Elias ignores him, dragging Varn back to his horse. The town's fires still burn, but hope flickers in the survivors' eyes. Elias feels the weight of his choice. Justice is heavy, but it's the path he'll walk. Days later, the trial begins. The townsfolk pack the courthouse, their faces a mix of fear and defiance. Varn sits, chained, his eyes darting for an escape. Elias stands at the back, arms crossed, the locket in his hand. Lila sits beside him, her presence grounding. The judge reads charges: murder, arson, theft. Varn's crimes are a litany of pain. The room holds its breath, waiting for justice. Varn's defense is slick, his lies practiced. He paints himself a victim. A man driven by hard times. The crowd wavers, some swayed by his charisma. Elias clenches his fists, the locket digging into his palm. Lila whispers, "Truth will win." Elias nods, stepping forward. He recounts Varn's crimes, his voice steady but raw. The room falls silent, the weight of his loss undeniable. Eyes turn to Varn, cold now. The jury deliberates as tension grips the town. Elias waits outside, staring at the horizon. Lila joins him, her hand brushing his. "You gave us hope," she says. Elias doesn't reply, his thoughts on Sarah. The locket feels lighter now, as if his family's spirits approve. The bell rings, the verdict is in. Elias braces himself. Justice is close, but revenge still lingers, a shadow he can't fully shake. The judge reads, "Guilty on all counts." Varn's face twists, his mask gone. The crowd cheers, but Elias feels no joy. Justice is served, yet his heart aches. Varn is sentenced to hang, his fate sealed. Elias meets his eyes one last time. Varn's defiance is gone, replaced by fear. Elias turns away, the locket warm in his hand. He's won, but the cost is etched in every line of his weathered face. At dawn, the gallows stands stark against the sky. Varn is led up, no longer the feared outlaw but a broken man. Elias watches from a distance, Lila at his side. The trapdoor snaps, and Varn is gone. The crowd is silent, the weight of justice heavy. Elias feels no relief, only emptiness. Revenge promised fire, but justice leaves ashes. He clutches the locket, wondering if peace will ever come. Elias prepares to leave town. His horse is saddled, his gear packed. Lila approaches, her eyes soft. "Stay," she urges. Elias shakes his head. "I don't know how to stop running." She hands him a scarf, her son's, a token of shared grief. He takes it, nodding. The locket swings as he mounts his horse. Justice was his path, but revenge's scars remain. He rides off, a lone figure against the dawn. Months later, Elias rides through a new town, the locket still at his chest. Word of his deeds spreads: Elias Kane, the man who brought down Varn. Strangers nod in respect, but he keeps moving. Justice is his compass now, not revenge. He hears of another outlaw, another town in need. The locket feels lighter, his purpose clearer. He spurs his horse, ready to face the next fight, the next truth. In a quiet moment, Elias camps by a river. The locket lies open, Sarah's face smiling up. He traces her image, his heart heavy but healing. Lila's words echo: justice takes time. He's learning to live with the pain, to let go of revenge's grip. The stars above are bright, a reminder of hope. Elias closes the locket, his resolve firm. He'll keep fighting, for Sarah, for justice, for peace. A new threat emerges: Varn's brother, Silas, seeking vengeance. Word reaches Elias in a dusty saloon. The locket burns against his chest, a warning. Silas is worse than Varn, they say, a man with no code. Elias finishes his drink, his eyes narrowing. Justice brought him this far, but Silas's shadow stirs old fires. He checks his revolver, knowing the cycle of revenge may not be over yet. Elias tracks Silas to a ghost town, its streets empty save for the wind. The locket swings as he moves, a reminder of why he fights. Silas waits in the church, his voice mocking through broken windows. "You killed my kin, Cain." Elias steps inside, gun ready. The air is thick with dust and hate. Justice guides him, but revenge's pull is strong. He faces Silas, two men bound by blood and pain. The duel is swift, brutal. Silas is fast, but Elias is driven. Bullets tear through the church, wood splintering. Elias takes a hit, blood seeping, but he stands. Silas falls, his eyes wide with shock. Elias kneels, panting, the locket stained red. He whispers, "For Sarah." Justice won. Again, but the cost is heavy. He limps out, the town silent, his heart torn between peace and endless war. Years later, Elias is older, his hair gray. The locket remains, a constant companion. He's a legend now, a man who chose justice over revenge. Towns are safer, outlaws fewer. He sits by a fire, Lila's scarf around his neck. The locket opens, and Sarah's face smiles. Elias smiles back, at peace. Justice was his salvation, revenge his shadow. He closes the locket, ready for whatever comes next.